Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. Today I'm going to be using the prized Peony stamp set again. This is actually one of my online classes for August, and so I thought I'd just experiment with a few bits and pieces that I've had left over and I'd make a different card. Now if you are interested in my class, it's an online class, but you can be anywhere in Canada and I will still send you all the things that you need. And you can check out my blog, craftsbythebow.blogspot.com, or you can add a message to the end of my YouTube and I'll get you hooked up with the nice goodies. So today's card uses the prized peony, but I've actually already done the stamping and cutting out. You might remember a couple of weeks ago that I made this card and I had these pieces. I had a whole lot of them made. I'd made a piece of card like this and coloured them all with the petal pink and the old olive, and then I was just cutting them out as I need them. And because I had a lot already made, I thought I would use some of them today. And today's card's quite an easy card. It's a Z-fold card, but it's a card I've made before, and it's one where you don't use just the card for the Z-fold. You actually use a strip in the middle as well. So I've already got my two pieces, the front and the back of the card, and I've stamped with petal pink just this little sentiment from here. So let's put those on one side, and now I've got a 3-inch piece of DSP and it's just 10 3/4 inches long, and I'm going to score it at 4.5 and at 9. So let's open that up a little bit and we'll go and score it at 9. There we go. Now the DSP is actually part of the package for the online card as well. It's the beautiful Peony Garden, and I just chose one of the pieces, but there are so many beautiful pieces in that set. What we need to do is to use this piece as the mechanism for opening the card. And so with the side facing me that I want to be able to see, I'm just going to fold this over on that 9-inch line, and then I'm going to fold it back on the 4.5-inch piece. So, and I'm going to use the longer piece here, and that's just going to attach to the middle like this. So I've got my stamping seal already, and you could use whichever side of the beautiful paper you want. And all I'm going to do, because this will be the back, I'm just going to line it up. I'm actually going to fold it so that I can see to centre it really. There we go. And then I've got a little tiny piece of Whisper White. I think it was 2 inches by 3.5, yes. If you check on my blog, all the measurements are there though, so don't worry. And I'm going to attach that into the middle. Now usually when I make this card, I use maybe a white card here, or I'll do a bigger piece of card, but I actually want to see some of that really pretty paper. And I like the way that the steps or the layers go down, so they look pretty even. And you could stamp a little flower on there or another little sentiment. I just wanted a little piece for writing. Okay, now I'm going to close that up. And this little tab here is the one that will attach to the front of the card. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on there. And then I'm not going to try and fit it onto the front piece. All I'm going to do is hold that down and line up my front and back cards. And that way I know that when I open my card, it will open evenly, and when I close it, there won't be a big piece sticking out at one side or anything. So here's our simple Z-fold. Now, you see, I've already stamped this, but what I thought I was going to do first was stamp and then run it through the embossing folder. And there's a pretty little diamonds embossing folder that come with this set. but actually it didn't work. You can't really see the stamping, so I abandoned that. Excuse me. And what I decided to do was take a little piece of grey granite, which is the grey that's on the DSP, and I embossed that instead. And that's going to be the base for our flower. So that will attach on there. And then I've got one of the little square doilies that comes in this set as well. And I'm going to attach that to the top. Now you won't see an awful lot of the doily or the card. So all I'm going to do to stick this down is put a little glue dot in the middle. You won't see it, and it won't matter if it's sort of sticky through the vellum, because there will be something on top of it. So actually I'll pop a couple on. There's a little piece there that's not pushed out, just let's take that off. And then I'm just going to put it over the square. And the little vellum doilies are 3 inches, so I just made this 3 1/4 inches all the way around. And you can just see that little embossing there, and it just, you know, gives you a little bit of texture. I've got my petal pink ribbon, and I've just cut a small piece, and I've sort of mitered the ends there. And I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on. I'm going to put one so that it sticks together, so sort of one on the inside, and then that will hold that. I don't know, I think I might like it going the other way. I think I like the edges more that way. So that's it stuck on, and I'm just going to pop another glue dot on the back. And then this is going to sort of poke out from under here. So I'm just going to line it up on my card where I want it. Check that works, yeah. So, and then stick that glue dot down. And this piece I'm going to attach with some dimensionals, because otherwise it might be bulky over the top of the ribbon and it might not lay flat. So if I put dimensionals on it, that solves that problem. Let's pop a few more on here. There we go. Make sure they're squashed down. Take the backs off. There we go. And then I'm going to line this up so that I've got an even border on the left and the top and the bottom. And when I did my stamping, I actually put the little square on top of the card so that I knew how much room I had just for my sentiment there. It's difficult if you stamp your sentiment first and it's a little bit far over or not far enough and you can't get your square centered. Okay, so the last thing I've got is one of those little peonies that I cut out. And really all I did was I stamped in the grey granite with this, and I cut it out with the die. If you don't have the die, it's still an easy one to cut out. You can just go around all the edges. You won't get this little hole in the middle here, but honestly it wouldn't matter. You could just cut round all the edges, and fussy cutting would work just nicely. I'm going to pop a couple more of the dimensionals on the back. Now this isn't going in the mail, so I know I'm quite safe to add dimensionals. If I was mailing it, I would probably adhere it down flat. Let's put a little bit of this on as well, just to keep it all stuck down nicely. There we go. Oops, that back didn't want to come off. Okay, and I'm just going to put it at an angle. So you can still see a little bit of the vellum doily, and you can see a little bit of the embossing on here. Now the very last thing I'm going to do is just put a couple of, that's stuck on there, a couple of the elegant faceted gems on. I really like these ones. I love that they're in different colours, and they are faceted, but there's this whole row of clear ones, and then these ones that just look a little bit frosty. And I must admit, I've been making some Christmas cards, and I've used some of these frosty looking ones on my Christmas cards, and they look really pretty on there. They look like they're meant to be on a Christmas card. So let's have a look which colour I'm going to use. I think I might just use the clear ones. Let's see how that shows up. Oh, it's very light. I think I like the white ones just a little bit better for showing up on camera. So I'm going to use the white ones just for on here. And I'm going to pop a couple over this side. There we go. Let's have a look. I might just pop it there. Okay. I might fiddle about with those. I don't think I actually like them there as much as I thought I would. So I might pop them over this side instead. And because I didn't stick them down too much, you know, they will move about a little bit. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to put it there. There we go. So there we are. That's a very quick little card just because I had all the pieces all pre-made. But it's a nice little card, and you might think that a designer series paper isn't strong enough to hold a card open, but because really this is resting on the bottom of the cardstock, it doesn't matter what you have in the middle there. So it's plenty strong enough. So there we go. That's my little peony card. It isn't part of the online class, but you would certainly have enough leftovers and everything to be able to make this card from the class. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see you again really soon. Take care and stay safe. Bye.